Good evening, and welcome to the Raleigh Board of Selectmen meeting, August 25th, 2014. Just as a reminder, this meeting is being audio and video recorded digitally. And I call the meeting to order. Bill, would you help us with the Pledge of Allegiance tonight?
Yes, absolutely. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chairman's comments. About the only thing I want to comment on tonight is the fact that we had a Fox 25 zip trip on the Common last Friday, and it turned out very well. There was a lot of people showed up, and there were no mishaps or anything like that. It went right through. They lived up to what they said they would do. They said they'd be there at 3 o'clock in the morning to set up, and they would go on the air at 6 and be out of there at 10, and go off the air at 10 and be out of there at 11. At 11:58, they drove off, and the Common was just as sparkly as it ever was. So it was interesting, and I think it's fun for the town of Raleigh to be able to have something like that come and participate in that. So, okay, tonight at 7:05 to 7:15 will be Citizens Query. We also have an appointment tonight at 7:15 with Janet Peavy, Chairman, Board of Library Trustees, to discuss pedestrian safety concerns in the library and town hall parking lots. So we'll go to general business number 1. Request from the Board of Cemetery Commissioners to lift the hiring freeze for a seasonal laborer position. It's August 18th, 2014, Board of Selectmen. Please lift the hiring freeze for temporary 10-week laborer. Also post 20 hours week, $12.97 an hour. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Thank you, Bill Gaynor, clerk. So what's the board's pleasure with that?
Is this just to continue the grass cutting?
Correct.
Just to,
The question was, I wasn't sure what the starting rate was. It was the first time we had to
So we would post it at the $12.97. So, you have somebody working there that may be leaving, right, Bill?
What?
Need to go to school.
He's gone to university.
Okay. So this would fill that slot.
But he's already gone, so now.
Oh, it's okay, so
he
now you
left
need.
last week,
Oh,
so
okay.
now we're without anybody
Yep.
until, was
Yeah.
it 10 days?
Yeah, so we'll
Yeah,
post it
post it
tomorrow
tomorrow.
morning, yeah,
Right.
if the board votes it.
Any questions from the board, or
Like a motion, Mr. Chairman?
please?
Give me that motion.
Motion made.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to lift the hiring freeze for the cemetery commissioners for a seasonal labor position. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. General business item number 2. Vote to designate Police Chief Robert Barker as an authorized signatory to the state 9/11, or actually 9/11, grant. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to authorize Chief Barker to sign the state grant forms. The chairman signs and dates the top of the form authorizing the chief to sign the state grant forms. Is there any discussion or review? The form is here.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. I'm just checking to make sure we got the right signatures and so forth here. It appears that we do. Okay, motion made and seconded. All those in favor of authorizing the Chief of Police, Robert Barker, to sign the state grant forms, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, 7:05.
7:05, yeah, thank you. The time being 7:05, the citizens' query is open till 7:15.
Charles Hardy, 67 Newbury Road. I'm here representing the Raleigh veterans on the issue of Old Nancy.
At this point, because they were opening it on that, I'm going to recuse myself. Okay?
We were granted by the Board of Selectmen, all in favor of, to restore the cannon, repaint it, fix it up, and make it presentable, more presentable than it was for the 375th anniversary of the town, and other things we discussed later as far as displaying it. Anyway, we were in the middle of doing that, and we were ordered to bring it back. And my question, that is my question, what the reason for that order? We've done quite a bit to it, but we weren't finished with it. And it is now back to where it came from. Initially, we were okay to bring it to a secure place, and which we did, and we worked on it. We greased wheels, cleaned it, painted it, started having it looking real nice, and we were. I'm wondering why.
The only thing that I, acting as chairman for this section, under the citizens query policy that we have established for the citizens query time slot from 7:05 to 7:15, we can take comments from any member of the audience here. We will not respond until that item is put on the agenda where we can make a proper response to it. But we have Amy and Debbie are making a record of this meeting, and we can, at a future date, make a response. But for right now, you are free to make a comment as long as you're in good taste, and you have been, so that we can receive your comment, but we can't answer your question.
I guess there's no point to comment.
Are we still going to be having in the parade, Bob, or what's going on?
I recuse myself for this discussion.
We did notice some damage done to it, we had covered over all the red, and with Rust-Oleum flat, and some of that was scraped off, so that it showed the red again. We don't understand what was going on with that.
Could I have your name and address so that we can have a
Page, and I was the one doing most of the work on the cannon, as far as greasing the wheels. We removed the wheels, we greased them, we washed, cleaned the whole cannon down, and we painted the cannon, and then when I received a phone call from Mr. Gaynor that it had to be brought back, and at the time I brought it back, I heard comments from the highway department as to why it was brought back, but that never happened, so.
Well, again, all I can say is that under our rules, I can accept your comment, and we are recording it and we will put it on a future meeting, but I cannot respond to it right now. Yes, sir.
Two questions.
Your name, please?
My name is Andrew Demeter. I'm on your list.
Okay.
And two questions. Why is Mr. Mary recusing himself? And two, it's on your agenda under old business and you don't want to discuss it tonight?
under the rules of citizen query, excuse me, Mr. Vice Chairman, but under the citizen query, we cannot address a query, okay, at that particular time of the query. We have to put it on the agenda later on, okay, that particular question. It's just the rules of the query. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr.
Thank you,
But
appreciate
the
that.
second question is, why is it under old business then?
We will bring it up under old business.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so let me talk about it then.
So that'll be tonight?
It will be tonight,
Okay.
but there are rules, again, on what is on the agenda and who may discuss. But we're taking your comments at this time. And we'll take
Thank
them
you.
for 3 more minutes. Anyone else have a comment?
I have a question.
Could you, your name, please?
John Grunstrom. If I don't ask a question now, will I be able to question and comment at the end of the discussion?
No, I didn't say that. There was an open discussion, first of all. Under the board rules, the Board of Selectmen put the item on the agenda, and the board will discuss it, and the chairman will determine who gets a chance to speak at that time. Anybody else?
If there are none, we will continue with the
Mr.
meeting.
Chairman?
And we're on general business number 3. Stable permit application for Megan Bossinu. I just murdered the name, but for Wuthering Heights Farm, 66 Cross Street. Wuthering Heights Farm is applying for a stable permit. Town taxes, electric and water bills are paid. Animal Control Officer Reed Wilson reports no issues with the stable. We do have a fee with the application.
Thanks.
And I believe it's a renewal application.
It's a new application, actually.
A new, okay. Is the sole proprietor. It's classified as a farm. So I think we're probably okay with that. Reed says there's no issues, so.
Just one quick question, Mr. Chairman, is there any
Can you give that?
limit as to how many horses, or is it, there's nothing on, doesn't seem anything here indicating how many, or does that matter anyway?
Well, I
Other
think
than
it,
for the neighbors.
There is actually, so you're at 3, the requirement is 4 or more, so they actually apply for it. They have 3.
Okay, so this application means there's 4, there could be 4 more, 4
You need
or
you need a stable permit if you have 4 or more. They actually have 3, so they may get a few more.
That's fine, thank you.
okay, any other discussion?
I can do the motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to issue the stable permit to 66 Cross Street for Wuthering Heights Farm. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That takes us down to general business. 7:15. Yes, 7:15, and the citizens' query is now closed. Next item is general business number 4.
We have an appointment at 7:30.
What's that?
Appointment.
Yes, we do have an appointment at 7:15. Thank you, Vice Chairman. Maybe we should take care of that next, huh?
Please.
Okay, we have an appointment at 7:15 with Janet Peabody, Chairman, Board of Library Trustees, to discuss pedestrian safety concerns in the library and town hall parking areas. Janet Peabody would like to discuss safety concerns in the parking areas of the library and town hall parking lot. that hedges have been cut. Highway Surveyor Pat Snow recommends painting the word slow on the street. Chief Barker recommends that the hedges be trimmed down. Chief Barker does not recommend additional signage. Okay. So Jen, did you want to kind of let us know what your concerns are?
That says a lot of it.
I think it does.
We had, the reason we brought it up was that one trustee, and he's here, John Manning.
Okay, John.
One of our Raleigh trustees, was leaving the library one day with his daughter.
Yep.
And somebody came quite quickly around the corner and almost hit them.
Oh, wow.
We have since cut our hedge. I'm not sure if it's to the point that Chief Barker thinks is safe, but the visibility is improved, certainly.
Good,
But we
good.
just, it brought up the point that there is a lot of crossing between here and there. It's a town road or driveway.
Driveway to the
Driveway.
cemetery, yeah.
Yep. And we just want to be sure it's safe.
I,
So-
yeah, have to agree. John, you got a comment?
Chime in too. John Manning, Raleigh trustee of the library.
Yeah.
I was also a trustee when we built the library, the building committee and whatnot. So going back quite a ways. One of the observations too, and bringing my kids in and out of the library, and my older children before, and then now, it seems to have gotten worse, and that's the speed out there. So I don't know if they can consider a speed bump. If you consider every school that's around here, there's speed bumps in the parking lot. Triton has speed bumps. The elementary, all the Triton district schools have speed bumps. I really think just one even would help to slow folks down there. They come around there. I'm not a small guy. I almost got hit. You know, if you're not seeing me, especially with the volume of little folks going across there, and we all know if you've got kids, they never listen, they never stop, and whoosh. And we've had some close calls with my older kids, and you know, then I'm in late teens, and now my other 8 and 10-year-olds. So I don't know what the process would be to request that, but formally consider it requested, at least a speed bump.
Okay, it's certainly something we can take under advisement. After we had actually received this from Regina, I went out there myself and looked around. It was after hours, so there was not much traffic there, so I was safe, hopefully. But I did notice, Pat, that one of the stop sign that is for the traffic coming from behind the library out of that parking lot is kind of twisted a little bit.
Okay.
And you really can't see it from the cemetery side.
Okay.
Coming out of the cemetery.
Yep.
So I was thinking if we could maybe turn that like 30 or 40 degrees a little bit. I think
I
we
could definitely do that, or I really don't mind adding a stop sign at that driveway for the cemetery. It's
Cemetery
not
itself.
really gonna be in the way right there, and that may slow
Yeah.
people down coming out of there.
Right.
That doesn't really bother me, because it's not gonna confuse people pulling in and out of here. It's facing right at the
Exactly.
cemetery.
And just take a look at it though and see what you think
Yeah.
too. I mean, I'd like to get your opinion on it, but I think if you move it, it'll cover both,
Okay.
coming out both ways.
Yeah.
Because right now you really can't see it. It's there, but you don't recognize it because you
Okay.
don't really see part of the face. It's on the profile from the side. So,
Mr.
Alright.
Chairman,
yes.
I went out and looked at that today. I went to the cemetery, came out of the cemetery. John, when you almost got hit, was that people coming from the back of the building?
Yeah, when I almost got hit, they were coming around. I think the hedge was a big issue there, but it's also, again, from years of being a trustee and being here now or whatever, sometimes coming in off the street,
Right.
and you know what, I'm a little guilty of it myself. Too fast and off the street, and you can't see the kids that are coming from behind here. It's just, we had this discussion years ago, we just never really followed up, but you know, it just gave me pause this time to say, you know what, we gotta bring this back up, because I think, again, I'll harp on it, a speed bump, just one of them in there, will just break the speed coming in off the street, or the younger drivers or the careless drivers zipping.
When I looked at it today, I was gonna suggest that maybe we move the stop sign about 5 feet in this direction, because right now, you come out of the cemetery, and if you turn it, it'll kind of be for both, but if you move it up a little bit, it'll put, so that when the cars, assuming they stop, will already be partially around the corner, so they can take a look at pedestrians possibly crossing there. It would also catch the cemetery people and the stop sign that way. I mean, take a look at it, I'm not saying it has to be done.
Yep.
My other suggestion might be that, knowing how you guys are all seen Triton. Up there where they have the crosswalk from the middle school and from the high school, they have about a 12, I'm guessing 12 or 14 foot wide white striping. It's sort of a crosswalk, it's not an official crosswalk, but if you had the, say the width of this room,
Something to catch your eye that you can.
yeah, and across both lanes, at least people coming in would immediately recognize that as a pedestrian crossing area. It's hard because we looked at it, the way the curb cuts are and the way the parking lots are, it's kind of a discombobulated situation, and maybe that would help at least, along with, I'm not in favor of putting up a lot of signs out there either, but if I think we move the stop sign and do that, and even put on the traffic coming in, slow, similar to what we're talking about doing over on.
Dave, I could suggest also maybe a safety cone in the center if we put a crosswalk in.
Yeah, when the library's on, that was when when the library's open, almost what they see, like down at Pine Grove, when the school's in session, they have one of those, yellow pedestrian crossing.
Was it 36-inch tall cones?
Yeah, just about.
I
believe we have one of those.
Because we don't want
down
anybody
there.
getting hit out there, it's.
I mean, just putting that probably out there in the middle, it doesn't have to be in a crosswalk. You can have that just to kind of slow people down. And it probably would help slow some of the people down.
I think Dave's suggestion of crosswalk painted.
The lines painted, I think, should
yeah.
really catch everybody. If
Yes.
we move that stop sign, if you take a look, take a look at it, you too would see, I think if we move it up 5 feet, it'll really cover both the cemetery and the back parking lot. And
Yep.
assuming the cars actually stop, they're gonna be out far enough where, by the time they get going, they should be going real slow coming that way. And if coming in, we put, somewhere out, maybe near the halfway between the street and this main entrance in white paint, like slow.
Yep.
Not much more we can do with that.
My only concern with the crosswalk is that we have a crosswalk now, but we're gonna have to do something in the grass out there.
We wouldn't make it a
Because
formal.
You're having a,
crosswalk.
what's that?
We wouldn't necessarily have to make it a formal cross, just something, because people are gonna, if you could put a hot top path, and I'll guarantee you that 60% of the people aren't gonna walk on that path anyway.
Oh, I agree, but
Is
it
there-
is inviting.
Is there a problem, I was just thinking about the curbing with the
Yeah.
crosswalk. Does that come under the?
That would be
Regulation,
my guess, but we
state
would
or
probably
federal
have to put a
regulations?
walkway in there and make it handicap accessible and everything.
I hadn't actually considered moving the stop sign, I think that's a great idea. But I had, when I was talking about putting a crosswalk in, wondered if we should put it from the back. So it goes from the back of our parking lot to the back of the town hall parking lot.
It's an odd angle here, that's the trouble.
But it avoids the curb cut.
Well, we already got, you got 2 handicap parking spaces for the library, which are in the back of
Which
the
are in the
building.
back, right.
Because this handicap spot out here is really technically the town hall, so you got, so that people that need handicap access for the library should really be parking in the back of the building where the 2 handicap spots are. I mean, we are trying to avoid curb cuts and things like that if we can. It's just something to just trying to take a look at the big picture.
Maybe try 3 36-inch cones.
I mean, if you don't wanna do
Yeah.
the paint, if you don't
No,
wanna do the
that, I
paint.
mean, I think it would be worth it for us to see what the cones in the middle of the road would do, move in the sign, see if that helps alleviate the problem. And that might save us a little effort and a little money in the long run.
That's a
Call
good
that
idea,
position,
try to-
maybe we could come up with something else.
Mr. Chairman, Pat is working on the contract to have the word slow painted down on Independence
Right.
Street. So he could add that to the list. with
I
the-
can, that I can have
If we can,
done when they're in doing the detail work.
With John's concern of them coming in also off of Main Street, maybe we could put a slow sign out there also.
That's,
slow.
I would like to center it, so
Yeah.
it's not just on a specific lane, so
Right.
it's centered,
Okay.
pulling in, and
Yeah,
at first I thought I'd put it back there, but we could try moving the sign,
yeah.
and when they start to slow, if we needed to add another one.
They gotta be going slow. If they stop at the stop sign,
If we
Yeah.
start.
they're gonna be going slow. I can see where they come in. And
Yes.
they may come, I would definitely put the slow over here coming in.
Yeah.
But if we move the stop sign, and get a couple of those,
Those
Cones or
3 of
whatever
those
it is they wanna
cones,
do,
put
I
it out
think.
there. I mean, that's
See how
enough
that
just to
goes
slow
and-
everybody
Yeah,
up, put them in the center
absolutely.
lane.
Yeah.
You could do that
I
in the
think that,
morning.
yeah, just reinforces the
Yeah.
fact that there's a lot of pedestrians around
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Library's getting a lot of use lately, a lot of use. which is good.
Yeah.
Pat, do you know whether, there are a couple of pedestrian signs out there, but it seems to me when I went out there and looked, there was one of them that I thought didn't really cover one of the areas, and I think it's coming in.
Okay.
There's one all the way down by the sidewalk, which
Okay.
of course makes sense.
Yep.
And then I don't think there's, I'm not sure if there's one on the front corner of the building. Is that the one that's getting covered by ivy? Or some climbing shrub,
Mm.
which we can ask Richard to cut back also. And then there's another one sort of on what is somewhat of a curb cut, again in the back parking lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there's one.
Coming out of the
Right
town,
there.
out of the back part of
Across.
the library's parking lot. You might want to look and see if there's one there too. So, I might give them a heads up. You might even be able to put it on the same post.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem if we added that to the stop sign.
So, okay. So is there any other discussion from the board? Or
Sounds good.
any other questions?
How are we funding this? Whose budget is it going to
Pat's gonna have a contract anyway for the slow, so he can just kind of fold that in if he
Yeah,
have
that's
them
not,
paint
that's
that.
not much to add.
Do you have the do you have the cones already, Pat?
I believe I have some, if not, I can get more.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't we go with that scheme? You want to take a vote on it?
I'll make a motion.
Motion? Okay.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you very
And
much.
hopefully that'll solve the problem. We don't need anybody getting hit out there.
No, that's not a good plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay. General business number 4. It is a request to use the town common from Christine Morris and Ryan Southall. We have the application. It's Christine Morris and Ryan Southall. They are looking to they want to use the gazebo on the common for September 20th. And I believe they are getting married.
So, Mr. Chairman, this request is for, to use it from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. on September 20th.
Okay?
So it's really for about a half an hour.
And they expect approximately 80 people. Now, let's see. They don't believe they'll have issues with parking. They will not be setting up chairs on the common. And they will not have any music or need electricity. They will be putting some decoration on the gazebo or placing flowers. And they have included the fee, the application fee. So, is there any other questions or discussion?
Motion, Mr. Chairman, if there's no question.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to allow Christine Morris and Ryan Southall to use the gazebo on September 20th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda is new business. And the first item under new business is fiscal year 15 reappointments and appointments. Okay. The first appointment is Kirk Baker, Limited Lighting Bylaw Enforcement Agent, effective August 26th, 2014 through June 30th, 2015.
Give you the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I'll let the secretary decide which ones are gonna be voted for that one.
Bob Strong.
Jack.
We got the photo.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion
It's
carried.
gonna be fast around here.
You do, you really do. Second item, actually went under the new business, we're still under appointments. Jesse Massey, Regular reserve dispatcher, August 26, 2014 through June 30th, 2017.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mary Ellen McDonald, 52 Summer Street, Rowley, Democrat. Fiscal year 15 additional election worker.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Annetta Kelly, 161 Cross Street, Rowley, Democrat, fiscal year 15 election worker.
I'll give you that motion. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Sally McGray, 554 Plantation Drive, Rowley, unenrolled, fiscal year 15 additional election worker.
I'll give you that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Reappointments. Dave Levesque's appointment to the ZBA expires on July 31st, 2014. The conflict of interest opinion was provided to ZBA Chairman Don Thurston on August 12th, 2014. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to reappoint Dave Levesque to the ZBA effective July 31st, 2014 through September 8th, 2014, pending the filing of the written Section 19 and Section 23 disclosures pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 268A. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to send a letter to Dave Levesque with a copy to Don Thurston, informing him of the Board's decision with a copy of the conflict of interest letter. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, we discussed this previously, and the issue is that we need to make sure you and I had a discussion with Don Thurston, and we just want to make sure that Dave Levesque, who has, it seems to be have a conflict issue, he needs to fill out the proper paperwork and inform people coming before the board that he has a possible conflict. And, I personally have no problem reappointing him if he fills out the paperwork and agrees to that. So,
Right.
I would suggest that we send Mr. Levesque a letter with the opinion and our requirements, and we'll put the appointment on for the next meeting and put a deadline. We need the paperwork back for that meeting, or we will not be reappointed. In other words, we've got to move on with this. It's been kind of hanging, and we need to make sure that nobody's in conflict. The public appearing to come before the ZBA is aware that there's a possible conflict, so if they want to object, they can. If they don't want to object, that's fine. Most of the time, it's probably not going to make any difference, but it's just something that the question was asked, and we've got the answer, and we need to follow through on the answer.
Okay, any further discussion? Entertain a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And I believe that's the end of the appointments. Okay, item number 2 under new business. Review site plan review application from Mark Savory to the planning board. The planning board has received a site plan review application related to the property located at 56 Newburyport Turnpike to construct a new 5,000 square foot metal warehouse building which is to be used as a landscape contractor's office and storage building. Because the proposed building is less than 10,000 square feet, this request does not trigger a special permit application review. The request was filed by Liz Dupre of Clearwater Environment on behalf of Mark Savory, property owner. The planning board will determine the date of the public hearing at its meeting on Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. I will notify each of you when the date has been set, attach the copy of the application plans and relevant supplemental documentation. Please review this information and forward any written questions, comments, or concerns to the planning board by August 27th, 2014. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you require additional supplemental documentation in order to complete your review, please contact me by phone 978-948-5549 or by email at kurtbaker@townofraleigh.com. Sincerely, Kurt Baker, Town Planner. So, has everybody had a chance to look at the application? So from the looks of the plan, it looks like it's going to be up towards the back side of the lot. I believe there's already a driveway cut there for his other business that he's got on the lot.
Yeah, I think you went through the left-hand side here.
Yeah, he comes in this way. It's also a driveway here that goes up, it used to go up to the house.
Oh, yeah, that's right, there is.
And then it looks like it's going to continue right up through here, up to the landscape building. So.
I have no comments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Do you need a vote on
Well,
it? I
is this-
think it's just a review, isn't it?
Yeah, it is just basically a review, and if we don't have any issues with it, we can just let them know that. Is there any other comments?
I have no questions.
No comments? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to notify the planning board that we have no issues.
Make that motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. New business number 3. Is it 3? No, 4. No, 3.
Three.
New business number 3. And this is a letter from Attorney Donald Greenow, re the sale of Chapter 61 land. Filing of the 61 land appears to be in order. We haven't received reports from the Planning Board and Conservation Commission yet. Both the planner and conservation agent are on vacation. Debbie will contact them when they get back. This will need to be tabled for a future meeting. So, we can't act on it tonight, but if you get a chance to review it before the next meeting, that would be appreciated.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to table it to a future meeting.
A second.
Motion made and seconded to table the Greenow letter for the Conservation Restriction, Chapter 61. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item number 4, discuss special town meeting. The board needs to open the warrant for the October 27, 2014 special town meeting tonight and to close it at 4 p.m. on Monday, September 19, 2014. The warrant must be posted no later than October 10th, 2014. Monday, October 13th is a holiday. We will need to get it copied and mailed no later than October 15th.
Make the motion, Mr. Chairman, that we open the warrant.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded to open the warrant. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. New business, item number 5. Liquor license change of manager application submitted by Raleigh Veterans Association. The application submitted for the change of management application is not ready. Jim Edwards, the applicant, has requested that it be put on the September 8th, 2014 meeting agenda. He needs additional time to complete. Entertain a motion to postpone till September 8th.
I'll make that motion. Postpone it till September 8th.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, new business, item number 6. Discuss ice bucket challenge for ALS. Honorable board members, George Pasanka asked that I forward this to you. He has challenged a quorum of the board to do the ALS ice bucket challenge. Click on the link below to see the video. So what's the board's pleasure?
I think we should send the youngest member of the board, Mr. Chairman.
I'm declining, Mr. Chairman. I would be more than happy to send a donation.
I would join Mr. Patterson, Peterson, I'm sorry,
That's all right.
that my cardiologist will not allow me to do the ice bucket challenge. But I will make a donation.
Again, Mr. Chairman, I think we should sacrifice the youngest member of the board.
And who might that be?
I think it's me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. If we're gonna sacrifice you as the youngest,
Okay,
maybe we ought to sacrifice one a little older,
okay,
and I would join you.
okay. There'll be two of us. What do you want to do, Mr. Chairman?
I think we need to do it on a Sunday, possibly this coming Sunday at the agricultural
We could do that.
farmers market.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
That
What
way-
time? What's
That
the
way
time?
we can get it while it's still warm out.
All right, Mr. Chairman, that sounds good.
We'll have to check with Mr. Pasanka to see what time.
I imagine he wants to film this.
Probably,
Probably.
so wear your makeup. Okay. I don't think we need a vote on that one.
No, we're perfectly happy to let you represent us.
Okay. Old business number 1, discussion on Nancy Cannon. And at this point in time, I will again recuse myself and actually leave the room. You've got a copy of that, John?
I do.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you, John.
The agenda item is to discuss Old Nancy Cannon, and we have specific items that the board will discuss, and I will ask for, I will first read the discussion provided to me. The fire captains have inspected the cannon and found soot inside the cannon, and we have attached pictures. I will first ask the board for a motion and vote to request that the police department investigate the firing of the Old Nancy cannon.
Would you like a motion, Mr. Chairman?
Would like a motion.
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just to follow up quickly, I know there's a number of people here involved in the discussion. At this point, it doesn't serve any purpose to apparently, or probably have a back and forth as to whether it was or was not fired. So, you know, I'm supporting the motion to have the police department investigate it so that they can come in with a definitive, yes, it was fired, no, it wasn't fired, and then we can have a discussion as to what action to take, if any, at that point. Until we make a determination, I think it's difficult to have a discussion that makes any sense.
To have an official investigation and a report to the board.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second, I will call for a motion to vote to authorize the town administrator to work with the cannoneer to hire a company to inspect and evaluate the condition of the cannon.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion? We do want to determine and evaluate the condition of the cannon so that it can be used for the Raleigh 375 celebration on September, the weekend of September 4th through the 7th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries. And a call for a motion to vote to rescind the Board of Selectmen's vote on July 28th, 2014, to allow the Raleigh Veterans Association to refurbish the cannon. Do I have a motion? Hearing none, we will not.
Yeah, just to comment on that, Mr. Chairman, I think at this point, until we get the assessment and the report, and then I think at that point, we can make a determination whether it's appropriate to rescind it or what action we might want to take at that particular time.
Make a motion that we come back to that question after the inspection is done on the cannon.
Okay, that you want to table
And the
this?
police report.
And the
Okay.
police report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of postponing this until we have the police report and the inspection report?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
May I ask a question? Again, I'm Andrew Demeter, I'm on your list. Do you have an idea of when this will be back on the agenda?
It depends on how long it takes. I was given the impression this afternoon that it would take some time for the police to do a complete investigation. And my concern as chairman of the Raleigh 375 is that we get it done in time for that weekend, and which is only a few days, less than 2 weeks away. I don't know that it'll be done in time. So it may not be done, not be ready until after the celebration is over.
Just
I don't
one more
know.
question. Whose budget is gonna come out of this evaluation, this analysis?
The selectmen's budget.
Thank you.
Okay, that ends old business number 1. We'll go on to old business number
Thank you,
2.
folks. Mr. Murray? Go home?
I got it.
Good luck there, Charlie. Take it easy. Be careful. Take care, Jack.
See you, Jack. Try to behave yourself.
How's the green crab business?
Good luck.
Good job.
Okay, old business number 2, update on Raleigh 375th celebration parade concert opening and closing ceremonies.
Some good news. I am very happy to present that the Boston Rockabilly Band performed on Saturday evening, and they were, in my opinion, they were fabulous. They played music that I could understand and knew all the words to, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Our very good friends from the Institution for Savings provided ice cream, free ice cream for everyone in the crowd, and we did have a good crowd there Saturday night, and free popcorn, and they passed out souvenirs, which was very, very nice of them. They've been wonderful in supporting our concerts all through the summer, and we have nothing but high praise for them, and we thank them very, very much. I do want to stress that we are approaching the actual celebration weekend on September 4th, 1639, when many of us were a lot younger. The town of Raleigh was founded, and we are going to have our opening ceremonies on that Thursday afternoon at 6 o'clock. And we are going to have a kids races on the common. Sign up will be at 5:45, and then they will begin at 6:15. We will have tolling of the bells at 6:15 to indicate the founding of the town. On September 5th, Friday evening, we'll have our concert on the common. The Three Amigos will be playing from 6 to 8 o'clock. And Saturday morning, we want to invite all of the town residents to come out, and we're going to have a parade, and it will start down by Railroad Avenue,
Yes.
and it will proceed down Route 1A, which will be closed off from 10:30 until approximately 1 o'clock. And we'll all march down to the common. And if the end of the parade comes by, and please join us and march down to the common so that you can partake of the food that will be on the common. There will be a band providing music, and we will have the picture of all the residents at 2 o'clock, and anybody who's on the common. And the band will be there until 4 o'clock. So we invite you to come down. On Sunday, we're going to have our closing ceremony. Excuse me. And we'll have the ministers from the three churches, Reverend Hagopian, Father Burton, and Reverend Cressy. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Phil, I forgot your last name. We'll have a ceremony on the town common for the closing, and then we'll have the senior tones for music, and we want to invite everybody to bring a picnic lunch and enjoy the town common one more time in celebration of the 375th anniversary of the town founding. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. Old business item number 3, update on Girl Scouts land. We have been working on the self-help grant application. The state has requested that we exclude the camp area from the appraisal. Our appraiser, Landbest, pointed out that there would need to be a new appraisal because the camp area cannot just simply be excluded from the appraisal. A new appraisal will result in a much lower value and most likely less grant money. Additionally, we would have to expand more funds to pay for the appraisal, and there would be no guarantee that we would get the grant. This grant is geared toward protecting habitats, etc., not for recreational purposes. Bob Mary and Dave Peterson met with Dave Santamenta today to discuss how we should proceed. We feel that at this point, reappraising the property to exclude the camp area is not beneficial, as it will result in delays, lower the value of the property, and reduce the amount of grant funds we would be eligible for. The primary concern we have at this point is to purchase the land as soon as possible and issue an RFP to lease the area to an organization which will run camps and other programs. Dave and Bob can further explain. If the board votes to follow this course of action, Debbie will send a letter to the state informing them of the town's intent to withdraw the application.
I think that given the circumstances that we do vote to withdraw the application, that we go ahead and purchase the land.
Yeah, and you know, between Dave, ourselves, and David Santamenta, we kind of feel the same way. It's going to delay the process considerably. if we try to continue with the grant situation, given what the state has asked us to do, and that is to segregate the camp area out of the grant application.
Right.
Unfortunately, when they told us to do that, they had not looked at the appraisal as of that time. And the appraisal is pretty much, at least half of the appraisal is the camp area.
Mm-hmm.
The appraisal value is the camp area. So
So that would reduce the appraisal, yeah.
would reduce it considerably.
Right.
And then if there was a guarantee that the grant was coming, that might be a different issue. But there is no guarantees.
Right.
And they tend to want to give grants for land and not necessarily camps. So, and they pretty much at the time we had the meeting with them up there and walking through the project, told us that we'd have to treat everybody the same, whether it's a town resident, which is putting up the money up front, or whether it's somebody from out of town. And we felt that the town residents should get something back for the money that they've appropriated to buy the land.
I would agree.
And it's
I would agree.
the camping, hopefully that's the camping section that they can use.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to the board. Whatever you guys think you might want to try to do. And Dave, you got anything else
Yeah,
to
just
add?
follow up, the prime purpose of the grant, the agency given the state grant is for conservation land, protecting habitat for wild birds and so on and so forth. And the primary piece of that land that has the most value is the part where the Girl Scout camp is, which is right on Weathersfield Street. So if we take 90% of that out, we have to leave access to the backland. But it's gonna, like Bob said, it's probably gonna take 50% of the value, which means it's gonna reduce the amount of the grant, which is a maximum of $400,000, will be reduced because we're gonna obviously change the assessment, reduce the assessment big time. So we put a lot of work into it. Brent has, and we've been meeting regularly with it, but we just feel that at this point, for the potential that we might get some grant money, not as much as we originally intended. And our real goal is if we want to take possession of that property by the end of the end of the calendar year, December.
Right.
That this is only going to delay us from doing other. We need to really start to be putting together. If we give up the grant, we've got the money to pay for it. It isn't like we need the grant to actually pay for the land. And it's so iffy that we feel that we should put our emphasis now into the town administrator, putting the RFP together for the and the sale with the Girl Scouts, but all that legal work and all that stuff we really need to be moving forward on, because our goal really would be to put the RFP out for a camp facility after the first of the year, hopefully to be used next summer if that's at all possible. If we get held up on the grant application and we don't get anything out of it, or we get a very small amount of money, it isn't worth the time.
No.
And especially as Bob said, we need to have the survey has to go out and redo the survey and redo the appraisal, or not redo the survey, but cut out the portion. It has to be formally appraised again. He's not just going to give us I think it's going to be this. It's got to be done correctly, which all costs money and takes time. We're not going to be able to walk in the door and have it done tomorrow. It's going to take a few weeks to get that done. So regretfully, we're sorry that we can't go for the grant, but our time is better spent getting the camp area ready for what we want to use it for in the long run, and save our time. A lot of the stuff we've done will prepare us so in the future, if we buy some other land, we can maybe use the open space plan, et cetera, for further grant applications down the road.
I'll give you a motion.
I'll give you a second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda is minutes, June 16th, 2014.
I move we accept the minutes as printed.
You are absent, Joe.
Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
Sorry.
Thanks, Jack.
I'll make the motion if you want to second.
Yeah.
You made the motion.
I'll make the
second.
motion, you
I'll
second.
second.
Motion made and seconded. All
I
those in
abstain.
favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? Abstained? July 14th, 2014 minutes.
I'll make the
Dave,
motion.
Dave Peterson was absent.
I'll second.
Motion made
There
and
was just
seconded.
one little minor mistake here. The one under moment of silence was observed for Don. You got C-O-O, Nam. It's K. Yeah, it's
Cool,
cool. It's
yeah,
K.
it's K. It begins with a K.
K-U, like K-U.
K-U-D-E-A-M
Yeah,
or O-M?
O-N.
You just check the spelling on it.
Just, yeah, just a couple of letters there.
All right, we'll make that change.
Don Kudum. Yep. Okay,
Get a motion there, have we?
I don't think so.
I think I made a motion.
You made a motion. We get a second?
Yes.
Second. Motion made and seconded to substitute July 14th, 2014 minutes with a slight spelling correction. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
One abstention. Okay, July 28th.
Mr. Chairman, can we hold these, they're not ready yet, there's still some changes we need to go through.
Okay,
On the 28th?
Yes, please.
okay, hold the 28th. August 11th, 2014. And guess what? Everybody was here.
Wow. I was back from Alaska.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to read them?
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes of August 11th as printed.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And the executive session minutes for August 11th, 2014.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
And I abstain. Okay, because I wasn't present. Okay, that takes care of the business end. Now we have some announcements. The town has the following vacancies. Fence viewer, 2 positions. Wood, lumber, and bark inspector, and zoning board of appeals associate, 2 open seats. Historical commission, historic district commission, 4 seats. Parks and recreation committee, 2 seats. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's office at 978-2372. 375th anniversary information and events are posted on the town's website, www.townofrowley.net. Rowley Food Pantry is in need of donations. The food pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. They would need the paper products, sanitary products, canned goods, just making sure that they're not out of date. Also, there's a drop-off at the town library when they're open. Water commissioners need to call Pennachuck 1-800-553-5191 now for billing, payment, and customer service questions. Compact fluorescent light bulbs may be recycled at the Rowley Municipal Light Plant. Light bulbs can be brought down during normal business hours. Those are the compact fluorescents, which are the curly-Q ones, and not the long tubes. That being said, is there any further business to come before, what's that?
Battery drop-off?
Battery drop-off?
We've, that announcement's been made so many times that people have said we can take it off now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was a reason we had actually withdrawn it. Is there anything else on the board has to say?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oop.
Motion made and double seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned.